In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do a query that has a calculated field. So here I have two tables, and the table that is showing the information of the customer name of company, and they're also showing the last name and first name and the title of the person at the different companies. And the other table is a customer order table, right? So it shows the products. So we have shoes, socks, boot, pants. It indicates whether the item is on sale, and it has a wholesale price and the selling price. All right, so what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to be using the two tables, right? So to use the two tables, you have to create relationships between the two tables. So in order to create the relationship between these two tables, you have to close them. All right, so we close here, close this one, right? Then we're going to go to database tools, the tab on the ribbon, and you click under the relationships group, you click relationships, right? Then what I want to do is show the table dialog box. So I can either click here or I right click and click show table, right? So this allows us to add the tables, or if you want to add some queries, which you did before, right? We're not doing the queries today, we're doing adding the two tables, right? So we click add to add the customer information table. Then we click on this one, which is a customer order table, and we click add. Then we close this show table dialog box, right? So here now we have these boxes that shows the two tables, right? So what I can do is expand it so I can see the name of the table, and expand here so I can see the different fields that are in this table, right? I'm gonna move this across here. Likewise, we don't have to do it, but we want to show you what we're doing here, right? Now, in order to create relationships between the two tables, you have to have two field names that are the same and spelled the same, right? So we're going to use the customer code to link the two tables. So I click and drag it on top here. We're going to click enforce referential integrity. I'm going to click create. All right, so there it is now. We have a one-to-many relationship between the two tables, right? All right, so here now, what we're going to do now, we're going to close this relationship. We're going to click yes for save. All right, so we're going to come now. I'm going to go to, so we are creating a query with a calculated field in the query. So I'm going to click on the ribbon, the tab on the ribbon. Then we're going to go to query design, right? And what I want to do now, I'm going to bring this up here just so that you can see. I'm going to add this table and this table. And it's from these two tables that we'll be doing our query. So I'm going to close this show table box. Good. I'm going to just put expand these so that you can see the field names. I'm going to move this over, expand this, expand here. All right. So what I want to do is to show the name of the company. So I'll bring it down here in the field area there. I want to show the last name in the query and the first name from this table, right? From this table, what I want is a product name, and I want the wholesale price. I want the selling price, right? All right, what we're going to do now, we're going to have a calculated field here, right? So I'm going to write a label. I'm going to write margin, right? Colon, right? and then I'm gonna put in square bracket, the name of the field, right? So to calculate the margin, it will be the selling price minus the wholesale price divided by the selling price, right? So what we would need to do, we need to write selling price just as how it is in this field name here. So we're going to write capital SELLING underscore price square bracket, right? Minus, I'm going to extend this a bit so that we have more space to see what we're doing, right? Minus square bracket, we're going to write the field name capital WOLE wholesale underscore price PRICE square bracket, right? And all of this has to be this result has to be divided by the selling price. So what we have to do, we have to put a close bracket there, and in front of the square bracket, we have to put a bracket there so that this calculation is done first, and then we're gonna divide by the selling price. So we're gonna put square bracket selling price, selling underscore price, square bracket. All right, now, okay. So here we're going to run the query now. So we click this icon that says run, and here is the margin, right? Now you notice that it is saying for example 0.15 here. I'm just gonna show you how you can change the amount of decimal places that you can see, right? So you would go back to the design view by clicking this design view icon, right? And if I hover over until I see that black arrow pointing down, I can click on this field, and then I go to property sheet, right? And when I can now choose the format that I want there. I can choose the number of decimal places. So I want one decimal place. And for the format, I can choose fixed, for example. Now you don't have to run the query again. When you go to the table, which you go to view the data sheet view, you can see that it is now showing one decimal place. I'm going to go back to the design view, and I'm going to change this to two decimal places. Right, then we're going to go back to the table, and there it is 1.5 and point 0.20 and 0.50. So I'm going to come back to the design view. I'm going to move the cursor until it changes to a arrow pointing down. I think it's already selected, but we're going to redo it again. No, it is selected, so we don't, oh well, it's unselected now, so we'll have to do it again. Alright, so we click there. Then we're gonna come here. I'm gonna change this to percentage, right? Percentage. Then when we go to the table, we don't have to run it again. Just go to the design, to the data sheet view, click on it, and see it's now 20%, right? So what this is saying, we purchase the item at $80 and we sell it back at $100. So we made a 20% gain on our initial investment, so to speak, right? So, so here I have my query showing the table for the query. So it is producing the information that was in the table, right? So let me show you the table, customer information table. See, we had 5 records. So let me go back to the query. Right, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go back to the design view, right? And I'm going to, under the criteria, I'm going to do a query. In addition to having the margin, I'm going to do a query to show the records which has a Bill as a first name, right? So if I now click run, there is Bill, right? Now I'm gonna go back to the design view, right? And remember we had the field name that says items on sale. Let me go to the customer order table, right? And here it is the item on sale, right? And if it is on sale, there will be a check mark in this field, all right? So this was a Boolean, yes or no. So let me go back to the design view here. All right, what we need to do is, all right, so we're going to go back to the query, right? And here now I'm going to include this field in the field down here, right? So when we gonna make this column a little bit, adjust the width there, right? When we run this now, go to create, go to create query design, close this, close this. So when I run this now, you will see if the item was on sale. So click here now, see. So we have the query was looking for the first name where the customer information in the customer, the first name in the customer information table, the first name is Bill. And when we look at the data sheet view, we can see that the booth was on sale and the shoes was on sale, right? So I'm going to come back now, go back to the design view, and I'm going to do an OR. See, it says OR here. So I'm going to search for the surname. The surname was Hugh. So I'm looking for either Bill or Hugh for the surname, right? So I'm going to come up here and run the query by clicking this run icon. And there it is. We have the last name and the first name being applied to the query. So in today's video, I showed you how to insert another field in the query. So go back to the design view, right? And also I'm gonna show you how you can actually move it, right? So there it is. This is how you would move it. And when you run your query now, you will see that the item on sale move from over here to in the middle here between the field named product name and wholesale price. In this video, I showed you how to create relationships between two tables. I showed you how to run a query with a calculated field, and I showed you how to change the format of the numbers to decimal, not decimal, to percentage, and also I showed you how to change the amount of decimal places after the decimal point. So I'm going to go back again and show you how to change it again. So we're going to have to go to the design view. It is already selected. There it is. So we can come here now and click here and put 0 decimal places. And when we go back to the datasheet view, we can see that it's showing 20%. So this brings us to the end of today's video. Next video, I'll be looking at the pivot table, and we're looking forward to seeing it in that video because we'll be explaining the principles of the pivot table in great detail. So bye.
Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, and share.